All right, so it's what is it? October 3rd, 2019. Around 6:45, 6:50. I'm in Oroville, California. Making another drama blog. Haven't made one for a little bit. I think the last ones I just looked was about the comic book stuff the ones that I had made concerning scarcity, tales of scarcity and stuff that I made with my brother. And I don't know if I talked about the issues, but then so basically at the moment I'm not using them because we had a split, and I'm not sure where he stands on that. The last thing that we had talked about was basically I can make my whatever books I make and profit from them, and he can make whatever books he wants to make, and basically just separate our creative endeavors. But then I kind of got a weird feeling where he was like saying something, oh, well, we should just sell them. So I've been kind of noticing Hollywood's been biting on him, and recently on that one Fast and Furious movie, that black dude that was part machine, was kind of a G-Man knockoff. So I mean, I don't really want to get into it, but that's kind of as far as who created who, like as far as me and my brother. We've had issues where arguments about who, like, after the fact of who made what characters and whatnot. So I'm not even going to go there. I'm putting out some storylines out there because I did want to finish them. I put a lot of effort into them, but I'm not working on those at the moment just because I don't want to deal with it. So what I wanted to quickly talk about was these new books that I'm making. You can't see it. So this is called Fiction. And, it's weird because I have these people, like, even people that I make music with are kind of like having disputes of ownership. And really every time I come into a creative partnership, I'm usually bringing, especially if I'm the one initiating the process, I'm bringing in my characters or my music. And anyway, so there's a second book. I'll go through these in a whole nother. This is the third book. So they're 20-something pages. They're black and white, self-contained stories for the most part. And I'm going more artsy now that I'm getting older. It's not really about superheroes. It's more, they've kind of Hollywood burnt out superheroes to begin with. So most of my stories to begin with, even Tales of Scarcity, was more about war. Comment on war and racism. Like all these social issues. These characters. So that was. It was as opposed to more about their powers or whatnot, and but now that I'm not bogged down to those characters, instead of drawing superheroes, Marvel and DC, which I love those characters, and I used to love reading the books when they were actually by creators that were great, that had freedom to they were fresh and they were great and they were not convoluted by what corporations wanted. So, but I would still love to draw them, pay homage to those storylines and those characters. But really, making my own stories has always been more important, and that's kind of what these books are. I'm going to do 5 issues, and then I'm going to continue making art books, like just straight black and white art. Very, very, see how avant-garde I can get without going to the place where it's just, anything can be art. Something where where it makes emotion. Art is really about emotion, and whether it's sad, happy, angry, whatever the emotion you're going for, that's what it's like. Poetry, you can make a love poem, you can make an angry poem. So it's really about that's how I feel about art, as opposed to drawing, using my skills to draw these superheroes, which I am doing just for fun. I want to see how far I can get with the storytelling and these black and white books that I'm self-printing, self-publishing. There's not a lot of money in it, especially for the artist that has to do the business side as well. There's a lot of competition through major studios, which they take a lot of the racks, and it's just like anything. Whoever has the most money gets the placement. But I haven't delved into it, but I've noticed how many talented people there really are around the world going to these comic conventions, and and they're complaining as well about Hollywood coming in and taking over. So I'm not sure. I haven't, but that's kind of what the consensus I get. So a lot of these creative artists, black drawers, that's where they make their money, to these conventions and these art shows. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm not gonna put all of my marbles on creator-owned books, because it costs a lot of money to print. So I'm still gonna sell out to the corporations which pay people like Netflix and Amazon Prime or whatever, and like Hollywood. And so these are the places where you work for the people with the money. So even Marvel and DC. But so that's kind of what's happening with me artistically, and then the painting stuff and the music stuff and my own business stuff eventually. But so I'm going to continue with these drama blogs. Even it's getting dark and this park closed. I just got here. I was drawing all day. I've been drawing, been working on my art stuff, and dealing with normal life stuff. Not really normal life stuff, but my life stuff. And so I haven't been able to concentrate on this. The more I make of these, the more flack I get from people in the real world that are watching these, and don't want me to be blabbermouthing about fucked up shit that people do. So they want to know fucked up shit that I do, but they don't want to talk about the fucked up shit that they're doing. And normally I wouldn't care about Butte County stuff, but since I'm stuck here now, I keep getting pissed off by stupid games. And it's not just Butte County, but fucking crazy shit's been happening here. Obviously, the fire and fucking who knows what else. But I decided to write most of this down. This shit's weird because it's like 1984 shit. Like they could just change shit. Like I can write something down, and then they're just gonna like kill me, and then fucking change up the words and make it a suicide note. So I gotta keep reiterating these. This is why I'm making it on this video, is because I'll never commit suicide. Never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. That's not in my religion. That's not in my beliefs. So if something happens, okay. So, but yeah, the 1984 stuff. It's like, dude, like, for those that haven't read the book, it's like what they do is they'll put out something in the news, and then they'll change it up to fit whatever agenda of the day. So when I watch the news, that's all I'm thinking is like, oh my, dude, these guys are just like, I don't know what stories are reality, especially with like agendas, whatever they're promoting, whether it's climate change or gun laws, or even the fire here. It's like just crazy shit. PG&E. It's like how are you gonna be paying everybody, and then your corporation's actually making hella money? You know, not to call out PG&E because these people are powerful, man. This shit's, I don't even know how I even got involved with all these fuckers. But, you know, if people like trip on it, like this is why I think is, you know, I look at Jimi Hendrix and Nirvana dude, and my conspiracy theories are like, dude, like someone killed Bruce Lee. Like he didn't just smoke some weed and fucking got a brain hemorrhage. So this is like what's been going on in California through the 60s and 70s, and who knows how else long. So now the military and all this weirdos are in Butte County for who knows how long with all this marijuana stuff going on, and you got the old cowboy people and fucking Mexicans, and you got fucking Vietnamese and the Hmongs and the fucking Rasta people and fucking Middle East people, and so it goes on and on. Chinese people, Russian people. So fucking I'm over here trying to make my art, and all these fuckers are going crazy on each other, and you know, I can't even go to Starbucks and without people following me around and shit. So I got to deal with the locals, and I got to deal with the media. Fucking Heartland. I don't even know who the fuck Heartland is. These dudes from Texas that are fucking bought all the corporations, and the fucking George Bushes and the Kanye Wests and the fucking Paris Hiltons, and fucking goes on and on. Kylie Jenner, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess Chico has a transgender community there. I don't even know what their role is, but come to find out, you know, some of the folks that I had met when doing art and stuff, like, I don't know if they were ran into a lot of gay people that were like checking out my art when I would be selling at the farmers market, and now things are starting to make sense, and like, you know, groups of people. It's like these groups of people. So the musicians and the artists, I don't know why, if we're just blabbermouths or we just like, but that's our role, you know. Like, I was listening to Van Halen talk, David Lee Roth. They were already old and talking about their music experiences, and you know, they got, when they made their first record, they sold 1 million plus albums, and they owed money by the time their year tour was done and all this stuff. And they were like, dude, so the businessman and the artists are always at odds. So this is the same story as today, you know, these businessmen and the artists. You know, there are a lot of great artists, a lot of important artists, a lot of people that have the gift, that are able to use the gift, but they're not getting to the people because the corporations, you know, they don't want, like Kurt Cobain and stuff. You know, he was saying some pretty now that I read Carl Jung, or, you know, been listening to Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, like, dude was pretty educated. I don't know, like, even Tool went there and stuff. Like, so these artists, pretty smart people, you know, they got a lot of insight. And so sometimes it seems like the businessman, you know, the king's men, you know, see a problem with that. And I found myself in that same place. So I'm not with bad company, because Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon and all these greats, you know, they're people that I always admired, and if I end up dying like those dudes, which I don't think they killed themselves, then it is what it is. So I'm trying to make as much art as I can till then, and I'm wasting time having to tell this story, my biography, my autobiography, wasting time instead of working on important art. But I'm trying my best so they don't change the story from what the real story is, which is why I'm saying 1984, the shit's getting real, where it's like, can't believe the news. People didn't believe the news to begin with, but now it's just like out of control, where they could just change anything and people will believe it. Like with Facebook and the social media, the shit, they just change shit real quick, and fucking, you don't know if what the hell that person did, or again Trump, and that shit's not even real. That shit's so fake. So, and you know, if you say something about it, like I am, like that people get tripped out on it, and fucking people are weird. Like they're groups, like they like to group up, and they fucking. I'm trying to understand the group mentality where people want to be safe and they want freedom. They want safety more than freedom. So all these philosophers like Socrates and Nietzsche and all these dudes that Galileo that actually wrote, that fought against, you know, that called out the powers that be at their time in life. They got fucking house arrested and shit. They had to fucking stay at their house and shit, afraid of the fucking Catholic Church, because they said the sun was the center, you know, of the galaxy, the galaxy. And it's like, you can't even say the sun is the center of the galaxy without fucking getting a house arrest and shit. Like, and then 100 years later, after you're dead, 200, 500 years later, then they're like, okay, the sun is the center. And motherfucker had to go on one of the greatest minds that ever lived had to go fucking suffer because the people of his time were fuckheads. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel about the current age, where it's like, fuck, dude, like how stupid are people? Like they must know the shit's not real, but they're so afraid of it that they don't. You know, there's a lot of people making their YouTube pages too talking about it, but you know, that's why I don't understand why would they care about me and stuff. You know, like, and I got, you know, things that I want to talk about, of course, but this is something that I feel is more important because, you know what I mean, go into aliens and shit. Like this shit's fucking, it's ridiculous. So, and you know, and I don't like people getting away with fucked up shit, you know, including myself. Fuck that. But if I have the ability to hold my own and stuff against in a fight, whether it be scholastic or academic or whatever, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. Physically fighting, they're not, you know, people don't want to, we're not in the age of physical fighting, so I'm trying my best to, and this is the only way I can put out my frustrations, because it's just weird, man. It's like, man, why is everybody so scared to tell the truth, you know? Like, and there's like certain understandings when a government is like Rome, when you get too much laws, too much like perversion of the laws or whatever, and that's when a society crumbles, you know. And so we're kind of there, you know, like, and this is what I've been talking about with scarcity, and you know, so kind of there. I'm ranting, but I wanted to talk. It's getting dark. I think the park closes or whatever, so I wanted to talk about my old band stuff, but I had to let some of that out because it was more important than talking. But I'm gonna make a second video. I think I could do it in like 15 minutes, but this is the first one. This ran in about current events and catching up to what I need to talk about, and let's go to the second part. All right, later.